true that Sage 100 ERP customers, formerly Mass 90 customers, can automate their international documentation by bringing over Sage 100 ERP line items?
Yes, they can. And this is one of the main enhancements that we've made to the StarShip Link 2.0. It's the ability to retrieve items. It's a standard feature within our interface and can really be used for international documentation as well as printing the BOL or hazmat documentation, basically anything that requires commodity or line item level information on the report or the document. So with that, do you want me to go ahead and kind of show you one of the international shipments?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. So let me just go ahead and put 804 in here. I'm going to process 804. I'm just going to hit ship remaining here so that we can fulfill all the line items on this order, and then bring StarShip up. So when we bring StarShip up, it's going to come up on screen with all the ship to information pre-filled. Let's just drill down real quick into this package view. If I drill into my package view, you'll see here are my 2 items that were on that order. And when I click on the item in the packaging view, the line item tab will come into focus here. And one thing to note here is the international data that you see in the lower right-hand part of the tab. I'm just going to drill into that so that you can see everything that's associated to the item. So this is the idea that we brought in this metal filing cabinet from within the order in mass. And my mass database doesn't necessarily have the Schedule B code or the harmonized code already associated to it. So in this case, I have the StarShip database storing that information. And the idea here is we can bring in as much information as we can from within Sage 100 or Mass 9200. And then we merge in the other information that we have stored in the StarShip database to give you a complete picture of your shipment to really automate that process. And getting this Schedule B information into my StarShip database can be done a couple different ways. We can either learn the information as you go, so the shipper can define the code the first time, and then once the shipment's processed the next time around, that will automatically be displayed. Or you can import that information into StarShip's database prior to doing your first shipment, so that that information already comes up automatically with no additional user interaction from the shipper. And if I click on the speakers down here, you'll notice here that my speaker line item will come into view, and then the Schedule B code that's associated to the speakers will also show. The other thing I wanted to show about the international order or shipment is the international tab. So this basically has all the pertinent information that's associated to the international requirements. You'll see here that we talk about who pays for what. So in this case, the shipper pays for the transportation, and duties and taxes are being paid by the recipient. And then also the electronic export information. So this is also a new feature within StarShip's new platform, the ability to push this information to the AES Direct website, which is the government website where you would typically select your commodities and tell the government what you're exporting. The government requires that you report these commodities if they are over 2,500 in value, or if you're shipping certain items like firearms or shipping to certain countries. Those they're all different requirements as to when you need to file. But for anybody that is filing, they could do this from within StarShip. We could push the information over to AES Direct so that you don't manually have to select the commodities. It just really helps with the automation of processing that AES. So let me just drill down into this so you can see it really quick. Here are my 2 items or commodities that I'm shipping. I have these both set to exempt, but let me just uncheck one of these so we can see the options that we have if it were not exempt. So here you'll see I have the ability to file on aesdirect.gov. So we can click on that button and it'll push the information off to their website. The result of submitting an AES direct shipment is typically what's called an ITN number, which is the number that's assigned to your shipment and has to be provided prior to processing your shipment. So the other thing that StarShip provides is the ability to scan an email address and look for the ITN number that's associated to your shipments so that it can automatically put that into the shipment for you and help automate that process. If you didn't want to file on your own, you do also have the option to have the carrier file on your behalf. This usually has a fee associated to it, so some of our customers will want to file on their own just so they can help reduce the freight costs associated. But you have the option to go either way. And then if I just process the shipment, StarShip will print the labels and documents and then update mass in real time. So here is my label. Also has the reference numbers that are coming from mass, as well as some information about the description of the items, also coming from mass. My commercial invoice. So this has my ship to information that came from the order, and then also all the line item information here in the body of the commercial invoice. Here's my certificate of origin. This happens to be a NAFTA certificate of origin since it is going to Canada. And then my packing list. And then within mass, you'll see the tracking information, freight charges, and shipment detail that can then be drilled down on from various parts of mass.
Caroline, can you email out of StarShip that tracking information?
Yes, we support email notifications through the carriers, so we can bring in the email address directly from the order. So you can have it set to the ship to email, the salesperson email, or you can even set a fixed email in the mappings inside of StarShip so that it can have all three of those or a combination of those. And then what will happen is the carrier will actually send the email notification out to the customer or the recipient.
Now we won't have to rekey information to the government websites. Now it's all done for us. Is that correct?
Yes, totally.